But you get out there in the middle of the ocean and you're seemingly a long way from the shore and from where you left. And I'm sure Jonah thought, well, I'm on the boat now. I've got my ticket bought and I'll get away from this place called Nineveh. I won't have to go face there. Those people, I won't have to go do. But it was useless. It was faithless. It was useless. He was running from God. That won't get you much. There was something about to happen. Running from God, our third point, is dangerous. Not only to ourselves, but to others around us. Jonah got on the boat and he purchased a ticket. He thought he was running from what God had him to do. And he got himself out in the middle of the ocean, and all of a sudden there was a storm that came up. Now, we're not talking about a storm. You know, these boats today, they're amazing what they can do. I know some folks that went on a cruise, some of your folks. Maybe this might cure your desire to go on a cruise. But they got on a cruise boat during the fall of the year. Anybody know what happens in the fall of the year down in the Caribbean? Hurricane season. Well, they got on their boat and they got out and they got in the midst of a storm that was remnants, I think, of a hurricane or something. But it got so bad that the ship tossed to and fro, and there's a swimming pool on the top deck, a full-size swimming pool. And the ship tilted and it emptied the swimming pool completely out. Thousands of gallons. The dishes and all of the stuff in the dining room, they went flying across the dining room. They sent everybody into their cabins and say, stay in the cabins, this is where you need to be. I've been on my knees and, oh, Jesus. Calm the seas now, Jesus. No, I got one better. I wouldn't be on the boat during hurricane season. But somehow they made it, that big old giant ship, which when you see them, they're amazing. It was like a little bitty rowboat. Now, Jonah and his comrades were in a little old bitty wooden, beat up, banged up thing that was nothing like the fantasy cruise line or whatever. And the storm came up, a great wind into the sea. There was a mighty tempest in the sea. The ship was like to be broken. They knew that if something didn't change, they all were going to die. And they began to pray. And they looked around and they said, well, where's this guy Jonah at? And they found him down inside of the ship, and he was asleep. How in the world did you sleep through that? But it said, it came to him, he said, hey, sleeper, I need you to wake up. He must have been he must be like some of the kids I got at school. I'll tell some of them, y'all could sleep through a hurricane. There could be a tornado ripping the roof off the Whitley County Middle School, and I could have a kid that would be sound asleep on the desk saying, what? What is it, Mr. Moss? I got to bed about 2 o'clock this morning. Could you let me lay my head down? But Jonah was down in the ship, and the sea was ripping it to shreds. The boat was going to and fro. And they woke him up. Now, running from God's dangerous here, folks. Why? Because there's times we break fellowship with Him. We get ourselves out in the open where that big bullseye's on it, and the devil's got an open shot at you. They woke him up and they said, hey, we want you to pray. Call upon you, God, that He'll think upon us and we won't perish. Now here's where it got real dangerous. They begin to think somebody here's the rotten egg. Somebody's brought this upon us. Who is it? Said they cast lots that who it would be, and it fell on Jonah. And then he says, I can just imagine, well, boys, let me tell you what's going on in my life right now. The Lord told me to go to Nineveh, but I was disobedient. And I got this ticket, got on the boat with you guys, and I thought I'd head this direction to get away from what God told me to do. And now I've got us out here in the middle, and the Lord showed up, and the ocean's turned us to bits, and it's all my fault. This is what's happened. I brought it on us all because I've been disobedient to God. He was running from God. This is what running brought to him. This is what running brought upon him. And they said, they were afraid. They cast these lots. It fell upon him, and they said, what can we do? You've told us that you've been disobedient, and we know what's happened is because that you're running from your God and doing what you're supposed to do.